Why entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're like, oh my gosh, man, he's talking to me, or maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, by the time you're done watching this video, you're going to know why most people can't succeed and why if you are an entrepreneur, this is going to help you to succeed. Sit back, relax, let's rock and roll. I want you to think about hand-to-hand combat, whether it's MMA, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or even football, a gladiator sport. It's hard. I played football at BYU, played football with the New England Patriots. Short career, but man, it got me a Super Bowl ring. And I was there with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. Football is one of the hardest sports. And because it was just who I was, right? It's what I did. Through college and in the NFL, like I thought that's just how life is. And then I see other athletes coming up and they're like, this is hard, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, what? You got all these gifts and talents. And they're like, I lost the fire. I couldn't understand like why they would quit. And then I got into being an entrepreneur and a business owner. And then it hit me. Being an entrepreneur is like being an athlete. There's a crazy chip in your brain that allows you to take risks that most people could not ever take. There's a piece of your brain that's missing that says, I'm going to go full speed and hit this guy who weighs 300 pounds, and I'm going to do this again and again and again. Like an entrepreneur, I'm going to take a risk. I'm not going to get a job and have a safe, secure paycheck. I'm not going to work for 40 hours. I'm going to work probably 60, 70, 80 hours. I'm going to take on more stress and more burden because I believe that there's this thing down the road, this prize, there's this reward. And I kind of like this process of doing my own thing. That's why entrepreneurship is not for most people. Number one, it's freaking hard. Like it challenges you mentally and physically and emotionally. Imagine this. You got to go get deals. You got to go generate leads. You got to market. You got to go raise money. You got to go close deals. You got to collect cash. Oh my gosh, I got to hire a team. Then you start to hire people. Then you got to balance. You got to be a leader. Then you got to deal with the in-office drama. Then you got this person over here who hates their life. Then you got people calling into work. And you're like, what the heck? Not to the average person. This is insanity. But like I said, you're kind of built and born to do this. It's hard. Number two, why most people can never be an entrepreneur, why entrepreneurship is not for most people. The cycle of ups and downs is brutal on most people's mental and emotional strain. They couldn't handle it. Stressful. I'm going to go back to football. Football, go to college, go to meetings at about 2 o'clock. At 3:30, we're on the field. From 3:30 to 5:30, we're practicing. After that, I come get a lift at about 5:45 to 6:30. Then I go eat dinner until about 7:30. By the time I get to do my homework, it's about 8 o'clock at night. I've got to do my homework and I do it all over again. Then on the weekends, on Friday morning, we travel, let's say I was at BYU, so let's say we travel down to Arizona State. So we leave on Friday, we're on a plane, we're eating food, we're in a hotel, we're in meetings, wake up, it's all football. If it's a night game on a Saturday night, we play the game, get on the plane, get back about Sunday morning at 5 a.m., got to go to church or go to the training room to get, treatment. And then we start all over on Monday, meetings, football, practice, schedule. Then you're dealing with, am I starting? Am I good enough? Then you got the league, then you got homework. Football was brutal, but to me, it was just life because I was built to do that and I wanted to do it. So number one, entrepreneurship is tough, right? Most people don't have the capacity or the skill sets or the competency to take those risks. Number two, like the highs and the lows is too much for people to handle. And then number three, people want a safe, secure paycheck. It's easy. I cannot imagine having a paycheck every week that is guaranteed. Now, I do run my business, so I know what's coming in and going out. Most people go to a job, I'm assuming, because the last job I had was the Patriots. But like you get up, you report for work. And again, this is not a knock against someone who has a job. I'm an entrepreneur. I coach entrepreneurs. I work with entrepreneurs. I work with business owners. We actually create something. We go build our thing. And so this schedule, right, of being an entrepreneur, the burden, the weight, the risks you got to take, the ability to go raise money and close deals. I'll never forget, let me finish that thought, it's a lot. So 2015, I moved my family to Southern California. We're in Utah. Moved to Southern California, moved to Orange County, a little place called Ladera Ranch inside of Covenant Hills. Beautiful area, sticker shock, expensive. But we moved there to work with a good friend of mine. And about 6 months into being there, we have a new Mercedes, a new Escalade, a nice home. And he says to me, looks at me in the eye, hey, we're done. It's time for you to go and do your own thing. I was like, what? Again, I was working 60 hours, part of this organization, launching, coaching, leading men, running these events. And man, I couldn't sleep because all of a sudden the paycheck that I was getting, which was built off a commission and a base, all of a sudden he says, hey, you're done with me and it's time for you to go on your own. Now, can you imagine having a monthly nut? Let's just call it 20 grand. 20 grand a month. That's what I need to cover the nut, right? That's what I need to cover the home, the cars, the insurance, the food, everything, et cetera, et cetera. And for 2 weeks, I couldn't sleep. Now, I've been in business before. I've been commissioned. I've been on my own. So I launched a program. I put together a program as an entrepreneur. I took out my phone, turned it sideways. This was before live was invented. I looked into the camera hole. I shot the video and I did a call out. I called out to women. I said, hey, if you're a powerful woman, because this individual asked me to not coach men for 1 year because we were coaching men. I was like, cool. So I took my phone out, I look into the camera, I said, hey, if you're a woman who's always known you're powerful and you want to go to the next level and you want to know what it's like to become your greatest self, I've got 12 spots for a program called Shield Maiden. Shield Maiden is a Viking queen based off of these powerful women who go to war with the sword and still come back to the throne and be beautiful, elegant, and lead and still dominate in the field of battle. And if that's you, I'm not talking to the cupcake moms. I'm not talking to the little pretty mom. I'm talking to a powerful woman who's different. Shoot me a DM. I've got 12 spots open. That was the first video that launched a movement of Shield Maiden. As an entrepreneur, I filled 12 seats. Did I have the program built out? No, didn't. Did I have the curriculum built out? No, I didn't. I built it as I went. And those 12 women turned into a movement of hundreds of women who came through between 2015 and 2023, 8 years of women. That's what an entrepreneur does. We write the books, we jump out of the plane, then we put together the parachute while we're falling, then we figure out how to operate the parachute, and then we land. Most people are like, I need to get ready, and I need to prepare, and I need to get this ready. Entrepreneurs, we just pivot and adapt and adjust and adapt and pivot. We pivot, and we think quickly. And we solve problems quickly. And I can get by. I remember one time years ago, I remember my wife looked at me, she's like, hey, there's only like $500 in the bank account. And I'm like, Ann, what's the problem? She goes, there's only $500 in the bank account. Again, this was in Southern California where the monthly nut is 20 grand a month. I said, and? Now in my mind as an entrepreneur, I'm like, what does that even mean? And she's kind of flipping out. I said, there's always just like only $500 in the bank account until there's more money. See, as an entrepreneur, I know what it takes to go generate cash. I know what it takes to go close deals. I know what it takes to get results, to market, to sell, to close, to collect, to handle adversities, to handle the storms, to handle the pandemics and the shutdowns and the lockdowns. I knew how to handle those things because I've been through it when I lost everything back in the 2008 recession. The real question is, are you really an entrepreneur or are you a pretend entrepreneur? How do you know if you're really an entrepreneur? Well, number one, like you can handle it. You can handle the hits. You can handle the adversity. You thrive under pressure. You thrive and you're willing to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week in the beginning. You're willing to bear the burden and the load of having a business and having people's livelihood in your hands and in your responsibility. I remember looking at my wife and I said to her, I said, hey, it's just how it is. Again, early on in the day, she was like, what? Because she was used to a paycheck coming in, right? That's how she grew up. Entrepreneurs, are you one? Can you handle the heat? Can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the ups and downs, the extreme highs and the extreme lows? Can you handle the 60, 70, 80 hours a week? Can you handle having zero money in your bank account, but knowing and just having faith, entrepreneurial faith, that you can figure this out? And if you can, that's why you're an entrepreneur. If you can't, well, it's not meant for you. And just be okay getting a job. Again, I'm not the entrepreneur that knocks people who have a job. I appreciate people who have a job because my employees, they have a job. They work for me and they work with me. And I like going to restaurants where people have a job. So I'll never make fun of you if you have a job, ever. I appreciate you so much. But if you're an entrepreneur and you feel called, then you know what you got to do. And you got to surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. You got to surround yourself with other people. If that's you, I invite you right now to join me in my live experience. Join us. There's a link inside of the description. And inside of the live experience, I'm going to teach you and show you how to become a more powerful version of yourself so that you can produce regardless of the storms, regardless of the adversities, and regardless of the resistance that's going to come your way, so that you can produce results. More money in your bank account, more fitness, greater relationships, and of course, more joy, happiness, and service towards others. Go ahead and find that link inside of the description. Register for that free live experience. And thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if this is helpful. Check out our other videos. God bless you and have an amazing day. To all the entrepreneurs out there, the world needs you. We need your creativity. We need your value creation, and we need your gifts and your callings as you continue to make a difference. Until next time, let's go.
Let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing. We don't do it for the block, do it for the name. Yeah. No, there ain't no stopping it. If you really want it, better rock with it. This is how to be a game changer. Better put your pride down, heavy, get your pen up. Wanna be the greatest, we ain't stopping till we win, yo. This is how to make it when they hating, we ain't worried what they saying. This is how to be a game changer.